Hey, what's going on, guys? John Shea here with the No Shame Income Vlog, and today I have something really cool that I wanted to share with you guys. I'm going to be talking a little bit about building out Evergreen automated email marketing campaigns. So this is something that I've been getting really excited about over the last couple of years. I've been spending a lot of time with this, and I wanted to break down kind of today something that I've been working on and kind of thinking about in my head for a long time. And towards the end of the video, I'll be telling you guys a little bit about a special offer that I have really for people that have been following me, whether or not you're here for my email list or you're someone that follows me on YouTube. I wanted to open up a special offer for those of you maybe are looking for something new or something that you could put a lot of time and energy into and really reap some awesome rewards from later. So before we dive into today's video, be sure to throw me a thumbs up. Don't forget to hit that bell notification. Definitely leave me comments if you have questions on anything that I share in today's video, and be sure to subscribe to the channel as I'm going to be releasing new videos each and every week. Let's dive into today's video. Alright, so I'm over on my desktop, and really what I wanted to break down today is, as many of you guys know, you've most likely, if you're here right now, there's a good chance you came from my email list. And something that I've always looked at over many years as doing online marketing back since 2012 has been that almost every marketer out there has an email list. And I've watched a lot of marketers come and go. I've seen people do marketing with email in different ways, and there's really very few people that do it the right way and do it in a sense that they're actually going to be able to generate a lot of sales. And I really kind of put two and two together, and I thought to myself, when I first got started with all of this internet marketing stuff, right, the reason that I wanted to do all this was that I wanted to have more time freedom, and I wanted to be able to do really whatever I want whenever I want. So if I wanted to sleep in tomorrow morning and it was like Monday, I wanted to have the ability to do that and not really care. So that's kind of where I've been able to get my business in my own life. It really wasn't even so much for me about money necessarily. It was more about not needing to feel like I have to specifically wake up in the morning, be somewhere in like an office at 8 o'clock, and like that was what I had to be doing, like that someone else was deviating how I live my life day to day. If I wanted to sleep in all the time and play video games and maybe go to the beach one day, I wanted to have the option to make those decisions and not let anyone else tell me how to live my life. Now, when this plays back into all of email marketing, one of the cool things about this is that it can be automated. So what I found is that since going self-employed in 2016, I found that basically what I wanted to do is create systems around email marketing where I could be selling my products and services without me being involved. So I started focusing on selling a digital course, as many of you know, about how to go and basically start an SEO consulting business. You've seen me promoting courses or offers or things related to building and growing an agency. And as I started doing this, I actually became more passionate about the whole idea around email marketing and what you could do with this, right? And the fact of the matter is that you could do this in any niche. You could go out there, and if you were someone that was passionate about, dog training, you could create an email sequence about dog training and promote dog training products or your own products or other people's products. So what I was going to do today is kind of break down a very high level overview of, first off, a high level overview of a system that I was personally running and that have made thousands of dollars using this same system. And then I want to break down kind of a curriculum that I put together for basically a training that I plan to create in the future. And what I really want to do is basically get about 10 people that would be interested in working with me one-on-one and having me help you create this same exact system for your own industry or your own niche, whatever it is that you're passionate about. So I'm going to kind of break all this down today and basically tell you guys a little bit more about this offer. Again, I'm only going to be opening this to about 10 people. So if this is something that sounds intriguing to you, definitely stick around, and at the end of this, I'm going to basically open this up for a limited time period. I think I'll be publishing this video on a Wednesday, and I'm probably going to shut the offer off and basically say whoever comes in, I'll just pretty much close it out, or if I get to the 10 people, it'll get closed out pretty early. So we'll have to see what the response is and see what happens. But let me kind of break this down. So real simple, I needed to create some kind of bait or something that is going to get people onto my email list. And I'm sure for many of you who are here right now, you probably saw this page the very first time that we had any kind of interaction. I have a page, Hey Digital Marketer, the 60-second plan to land your first SEO client. So pretty specific. They basically land on this page. It's got a bunch of testimonials and a second call to action. This page converts extremely well for paid traffic. I get about a 50% opt-in rate, meaning that 50% of the people who land on this page, 1 out of every 2 people that visit this page actually will download this ebook and go and now be on my email list. So the idea here is that you'd be creating some kind of asset. So we'll just continue with the dog training example. Let's say you wanted to create, something like the 60-second plan to getting your dog to behave, better or something. I don't know. You'd have to come up with something creative, but that's kind of the general idea. Now, what I ended up doing with this is I built this into a sequence, and this may look a little bit overwhelming at first, but I'll break it down for you guys really simple. As soon as someone opts into that, I send them a welcome email. So I have basically my 1-day welcome email sequence. They get delivered that ebook. The second part of this is I send them through what I call my soap opera sequence. So if you guys have ever watched a soap opera, or better example, if you've watched something like Breaking Bad on Netflix, at the end of every episode, something really crazy happens, like Jesse just did something insane, and you're just like, okay, I need to watch that next episode now. This is basically what's called using open loops or cliffhangers. So a cliffhanger would be like leaving you on the hook and just you now going, okay, something nuts just happened in this episode at the end of the show. Now you really want to go and see that next episode. And pretty much every TV show follows the same formula because it keeps people coming back and wanting to go watch that next episode. It works extremely well, and that's why the TV industry, the movie industry does this. So open loops are kind of like you're opening the idea of something and then not really telling you the full answer until much later on. So in the middle of like me writing an email, for example, I could be like, hey, did you know the best way to sell a client on SEO services? I could kind of come up with something. I can't think of a great example, but I might say something like, did you know that my favorite way to sell SEO is by doing this one little trick that I learned in a book I read a year ago? What do you think that is? Like kind of just something intriguing that's going to get them thinking like, well, what is that thing? But you don't really answer it until later. So they're going to keep reading and going like, I want to know what that thing was. So the idea is that I send them through this and I actually tell a lot of stories. Now in your case, you're going to have stories about your own life, your own situations. Maybe you're promoting, if you're doing the dog training niche, there's probably a reason for that and there's probably some story behind it. It doesn't have to be anything crazy. I told a story in one of my emails about how one of my friends convinced me to come over to his house years ago because we were going to have pizza and go do all this fun stuff. And it was basically like he sold me on the process. So I compare that to how you could sell SEO clients, sell them on your services. So it's really just all about story and keeping people engaged and intrigued. So the idea is that they go through this story sequence and then eventually I hit them with what's called a scarcity sequence. So scarcity comes into play where it's going to really make you take action, right? I'm going to tell you guys at the end of this video that I am only going to open this for 10 people and it's only going to be open for a limited period of time. And that's actually very true. I'm actually going to close down this offer I'm talking about. And when I add that scarcity, it just makes people take action and actually go and move forward. And if I don't have that scarcity, if I said, hey, I'm letting people come in and we're going to do one-on-one coaching, but I have no limit on the number of people and there's no time limit as to when we're going to start this, you have no real reason to move forward other than I want it now. But I'm not giving you enough of a reason possibly to make that decision to say, yes, let's go do it now. I want to get started. I don't want to miss out. I don't want to be like the 11th person and miss out, right? So that's kind of the idea with this. And what I do is a 50% off deal where they can get my course for half off. If they didn't buy initially through my ebook or just reading my story, this really will push them to make the decision to buy. So what I ended up doing is I built just this sequence, just what I just explained, and I started running and using some numbers to do this. So I wanted to show you guys kind of a little breakdown of this. And don't get overwhelmed by the sheet. I know some people might look at this and be like, I don't like math. I hated math. I never did algebra. This is very basic stuff. So don't get overwhelmed by this. There's a lot here, but it's really not that hard. Basically what I was doing every day was when I ran ads, I would track how many people clicked on my ads, how many emails I got from those ads, and then I'd just put a number on how many sales I made that day. It's pretty much all this is. And then I would also put in a number for how much money I spent on ads that day. So I started running this back in November of 2017, and you can see this first month I spent $564, but I only made $200 in sales. So I was about $460 in negative, loss here. But a cool thing started happening. I got 58 new people on my email list. One of those people could be you right now watching this video. Then in December, I continued running it and I got 358 new leads. I spent $1,072, which again, it is a lot of money, but I actually made back $1,230. So I made back all my money and I made $100 in profit. But the really cool thing that was starting to happen here is that I was building this email list. I got over 300 new people on my email list. Some of the people watching this video right now could be people that joined my email list back 3 years ago. So you guys are now seeing this opportunity, the thing that I'm telling you about right now. And in essence, these could be people that I've built a relationship with over a long period of time. As we move forward, January, 399 new leads. I spent $1,500, but I made $2,141. So I made a little over $600 profit, and I got another 400 people. And this continues to go on. February, got another 369 people, spent $1,600, made $2,600. So I made $1,000 profit, and I got another almost 400 people on my email list. So I really started thinking more about this, and I wanted to prove out, was this system evergreen? Is this something that, if I kind of stopped this around March, I was getting a little hesitant because I was spending a lot of money, and this was like one of the main things I was spending a lot of my time on. I'd spent a lot of time building this, writing the emails, doing all of this, and I kind of came back and I said, you know what, let's run it again for like 2020, 2019. So I started up in December. I spent $200. Didn't make any sales because it takes a little bit of time for them to go through the system. As many of you know, many of you have been through this if you're from my email list. And in January, I ended up spending $2,400 and I made $2,300. So I was a little bit of a loss, but again, I still was able to get another 400 new people on my email list. And February came around and I actually ended up running this through February, and I have to add up the numbers, but I made a sale right at the beginning of February. And I had many other people actually sign up on a multi-pay offer, meaning that they only gave me $60, but over the life of them paying that multi-pay offer, I'd be getting something like $200 or $300. So in reality, even though, more or less here I broke even, I actually ended up profiting because in the future months, I'd be getting more payments. And what's so powerful about this, you guys, and the reason I'm sharing this with you today is that I was able to get all these leads essentially for free or at break-even cost. And what that allows me to do is now promote future offers like this or other offers. You guys may have seen every year I promote this product called SEO Power Suite. Every year I send out an email. I send out 3 emails. It takes me about an hour to put those emails together. It's not very long at all. And I'll make anywhere from $500 to $1,000 sending out simple little emails that take me a few minutes to write. It doesn't take long at all. And I've done that repeatedly over and over again for like the last 4 years. And every single year I'll make anywhere from $500 to $1,000. So I thought about this in a bigger way, right? I thought, how could I go out there and make even more money with this? And I decided to add in a few other offers into my email marketing system. So as you guys can see through this welcome sequence, the story sequence, and my scarcity, I'm either breaking even or actually in profit from this sequence. But what ends up happening is eventually I hit them with additional offers. And you guys, again, many of you on my email list, I may even send this out to some of you going through these emails right now just to show you my process. But basically what ends up happening is I pitch people on a product called Scope Leads. This is kind of an evergreen opportunity for people to go get a lead scraping software for building and growing your digital marketing agency. It helps you find leads and contact those leads by emailing them. So I started promoting this, and I wanted to give you guys a little sample of this and really where a lot of the money starts to come in. So unfortunately, a lot of people cancel on this service. I don't know why, because I still use it. It works great. But I've had a lot of people come in and pay for this. So here was a recent sale I made on March 24th for $124. Here was someone that paid but refunded. They probably just saw it as a big charge and decided not to use the software anymore. But you can see I have all these other little $20, $33, $29, literally just going on and on. I have pages of these charges that have added up. And some of these people recurring pay. So this guy, Path Labs, paid, this is like almost $100 in recurring commission that I've been able to earn from them being subscribers to this particular software. Now, what's really cool about this is I continue to add other offers. So many of you guys know who Paul James is. He's a good friend of mine, a business partner. I promote his course, Maps Mentor, and that's a really amazing product. He's been selling it for years. He's improved it, made new additions to it, and it continues to be something he's sold for many years. So I decided to offer the opportunity to sell Maps Mentor on behalf of Paul. So every time someone buys Maps Mentor for $297, I'll earn a 50% commission. I'll earn $150. So this is something that basically the idea here was that not only am I making money and breaking even on my profits here, but I'm continuing to sell products like Scope Leads, Maps Mentor, my own products, and all of these other more or less affiliate offers or solutions that people are going to actually want and need. I'm going to continuously make money. And what's cool about this is this goes on for like 90 days. I can actually step away and I don't have to be involved in this whatsoever. So I wanted to briefly go through kind of a curriculum that I put together. And one of the big mistakes I've made in the past is I've gone and come up with ideas like this and said, you know what, I really want to create something, and I'd go and actually create it and then find out that no one really wanted it. So part of the reason I wanted to put this video out there for you guys is that I wanted to kind of gauge, you know, are people interested in this? Maybe nobody will buy this. Maybe some people will be like, I really want to build an evergreen automated engine that's going to sell my products and services, and know that you could do this with other people's products and you don't have to create any of your own. So what I wanted to do is kind of break down a sample curriculum that I put together and really tell you a little bit more about this offer. So like I said, I'm going to only allow 10 people into this, and I'm going to be working with you one-on-one. So we're going to be getting on Zoom calls. I'll be recording the calls. It's going to be 6 weeks in length. So most likely we'll be getting on the phone week 1, and I'll be helping you set up your ActiveCampaign account or your ConvertKit account so we can get you set up with email marketing. If you already have one of those solutions, we'll just work with that. And I'm going to walk you through every single step of this process, and I'm going to be looking for feedback from you so I can refine my process and make this better. And ultimately, this will allow me to create a product which in the future I'm going to be selling for probably $1,500 to $2,000 or more, and I may not even be doing it as a one-on-one opportunity. I may be doing it where you're like coming in on a group call, and I'll have lots and lots of people involved in this. So what I really wanted to do is get 10 people to come in, work with me on this. I'll help you basically set up this exact same system. I'll walk you through my entire process, give you all my resources. I'll show you examples of my ads and pretty much break everything down step by step. So let me kind of give you an overview of what would be entailed in this process and what I'm going to actually sit down and walk you through. And eventually I'll be in the future creating videos around this to break it all up step by step. But the benefit to you now is that I'm going to be actually working with you over a phone call to help you build this, and there's not going to be anything missed, right? I'm going to sit down and actually walk you through the process, and you won't have to sit there and watch training videos in this case. I'm going to be guiding you through the entire process so I can refine this, and later on when people come into this, they're going to really have the best experience possible. So basically I'm going to break down the program. You guys just got a good overview of that. I'm going to talk about how to get help from me, focusing on things, kind of getting into some mindset. We're going to start out by setting up your email marketing platform. So in this case, I use ActiveCampaign. We could also use ConvertKit. Those are both really good options, and I'll cover some other options as well. We're going to kind of go over your foundation. So you guys have noticed, like, I use special fonts. I have a signature. There's certain things that you need to do to set up your account properly to have success, and I'm going to go over all of that, talking about things like tags, building out your email lists, walking through things like an exit survey. So when people unsubscribe, you can get feedback on maybe why they unsubscribe. Then we'll really go into picking niches. So for some of you, you maybe have no idea what it is that you want to sell. You know, I gave the example of dog training. Maybe you're a cat person and you want to sell cat products. We could talk about how you could build out a 100-day email sequence literally selling cat products if that's something that you want to do. If you want to sell insurance, if you want to sell internet marketing products, affiliate offers, it doesn't really matter. You could apply this to any industry. It's just a matter of kind of understanding where you need to go to find those offers and how to build it out. Then I'll kind of be walking you through my entire process. You're going to see a much more deep dive of how I wrote these emails, what the emails are. You're going to get copies of my exact emails, all the templates and scripts, and you'll see the exact offer that I use to actually break this whole system down. I'm going to then show you kind of a process for writing out your own emails, how to format this, and how to make this super, super simple so that you're not sitting there like staring at a blank screen just going, what do I write? I'm going to give you kind of an outline plan so you can actually go out there and get all this stuff written for yourself and talk about how we can get all this moving. Then I'll show you how to like really build the automated portion of all of this, like how I organized everything, how I built out my emails. I'm going to share all my personal emails with you guys. I have an option right here inside of ActiveCampaign. I can literally come in here and share these entire campaigns with you. You can import them right into your own account, and you can start modifying them to use for your own projects and rewriting them in your own version. Then I'm going to talk about scarcity and using like tech tools that we can actually implement into this whole system so you can make more sales and ultimately really ramp this thing up to start, getting this thing profitable for you. Then we're going to really talk about traffic. So you guys are probably thinking, well, okay, I built this whole system, I have 100 emails, but how do I get people in here actually going through this, right? I'll walk you through my entire process. I have an example here. Let me go into my ads manager, close this out. I've spent a good amount of money on ads. There's a specific ad here that I ran literally using a crappy stock image that I spent over $9,000 on. I was able to get leads for about $5 each, which you might think is high, paying $5 to get an email. But honestly, when you make all your money back from selling something, who cares, right? You could literally run this forever. And as you can see, I showed proof of that, and that I was even able to stop this from start it 3 years ago, stop it for many years, and then start the exact same ad again and continue to make money even 3 years later. So that's kind of the idea is that it literally is an evergreen system that you could go and apply to your own business. Now, beyond that, we'll talk about free methods where you can exchange your time. So using Facebook groups, doing Facebook outreach, that works really well, as well as YouTube. Many of you guys are watching me here on YouTube. You've seen me do calls to action to my products and services, and that's kind of what, basically I've been able to do to get a lot of people coming into my email system for free. Then we'll talk a little bit more about like advanced strategies where you could be using chatbots to additionally like target people, and maybe even talk a little bit about Facebook retargeting where you could be messaging people and kind of being in their presence even more. So anyway, the breakdown of all of this is that I'm going to basically be offering this at a really, really good price, I think, for what it is that I'm offering. I'm going to do this for $297. I've never done something like this where I've offered one-on-one coaching. I recently was doing agency coaching where I was offering one-on-one agency coaching for over $2,000 for agency coaching. And in this case, I'm doing something a little different because for my agency stuff, I had a lot of resources, training. I was very confident in everything that I was doing. This, I want to still refine the process. I want to work with people to kind of go into it knowing that, you're getting something where I can show you a process that's worked for me, but you're not going to get like live training on all the little bits and pieces. But the exchange for that is that you'll get to sit with me one-on-one over a Zoom call, and every video, every interaction that we do, we're going to be coming in and really hitting the ground running, taking action. So week one, we're going to really figure out, okay, what email marketing platform are we going to use? So let's go into the actual platform and set everything up. Like I'm going to literally walk you through it, share the screen, and we'll go on your computer and go and set everything up. We're not going to be talking about what to do. We're actually going to be doing it. So again, the price for this is $297. I'm only going to be offering 10 people to take me up on this offer. I'm sending this out to my email list of, let's see how many people we have now. This isn't super active, but in sense of like the full number, but I have over 7,786 contacts. I believe probably 1,000, 1,500 of these people have unsubscribed. So there's a good active 6,000 plus people, I would say, that I'm sending this out to. So there's an opportunity for 10 of you to jump on a call with me one-on-one. I'll walk you through this entire process, and we'll crank this out over the next 6 weeks, and you'll help me refine something that I'll be creating as a premium product in the future. So really, I consider it kind of a beta offer. If you have any questions for me, feel free to comment on this video. Send me an email. I'm happy to answer any questions if something doesn't make sense. But really the ultimate kind of big picture to this would be creating a 100-day, 90-day automated evergreen system that will be selling your products and services without you being involved. You could literally step away and the emails will be sending out automatically to people over that time period, and you'll be generating sales. So if that sounds something like you'd like to dive into, you want to, apply this to your business. I mean, some of you guys might be out there still doing agency client work. I don't know how things are progressing with some of you in terms of like how the coronavirus is affecting that. You could still apply this to selling agency services. Maybe you want to build a 100-day service, 100-day email sequence, selling your SEO services or selling web design. You could apply this to that same process as well. So anyway, I'll leave a link below where it's going to have a timer. I'm only going to open this up for like basically a week or less, and I'm going to either close it down once we hit 10 people, or if I say get 7 people signing up and then we hit the timer, I'm going to go and start the one-on-one calls with those people, and I'll have this closed down until I release it to the public later on in the future, probably a couple months from now. So anyway, hope you guys enjoyed this, and I look forward to working with some of you and helping you set up your evergreen email campaigns.